Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Movie Club's second annual Summer Movie Series 2021 edition. This week we have yet another fantastic movie for you. This week, our suggestion and film screening comes from the likes of our co-creator and co-conspirator here at Movie Club, who has guest hosted several times, occasionally against my will, and that would be Gavin Slay. Tonight's film is a fantastic movie, but I think we all know the rules by now. 5 minutes on the clock, I hit go, I talk about it for as long as I possibly can, and then when the buzzer sounds, we're done. So without further ado, let's continue with our tradition here to get through this introduction as quickly as humanly possible and squeeze as many facts, some of them correct, into as little time as possible. And here we go. Tonight's selection comes from our fantastic friend, Gavin Slay, and he's picked a fantastic movie from one of my favorite directing duos, and that is the Coen Brothers and their fantastic film, Raising Arizona from 1987. Now, this is actually one of the few blind spots I have in the Coen Brothers filmography. Their earlier films, for whatever reason, has taken me a little bit longer to get around to, and that includes both Blood Simple and this one. And that's kind of a bummer because this might be the Coens' funniest movie they've ever made. While the dark humor and the brilliant music and scoring that is in Inside Llewyn Davis is right up my alley and still without a doubt is my favorite movie they've ever made, Raising Arizona is definitely up there. I absolutely adore their style and the weird choices they make, especially in their early filmography, with a lot of really experimental type stuff that I think they've maybe honed out, and they've been a little bit more pristine and prestigious directors in more recent years. This is when you can tell they're having the most fun and throwing the most things at the wall and seeing what sticks. Now, not every joke in this movie lands, but I think this is the Coen Brothers at their most playful, at their most experimental, and it's so fun to see them do that, especially when they're making a comedy film, rather than a film that just happens to also be incredibly funny because of their wit. Raising Arizona is without a doubt a comedy film, and the way that they make this world larger than life and more than a little ridiculous helps us to buy into this little Arizona backwoods tale. And that's also in large part to the fantastic cast and crew they've brought back this time. One of the things I absolutely have to mention is the incredible cinematography from future director Barry Sonnenfeld, who directs one of my favorite films of all time, Men in Black. This guy has a very particular style that any works that he's a part of has that particular visual flair.
Hang on, Nathan. We're gonna take a shortcut.
And this kind of out-of-this-world, fantastical, experimental, but also very precise in a way, cinematography is all over this movie. And the editing in conjunction with this fantastic cinematography from Sonnenfeld heightens the energy and creates some of the best car chases I've ever seen in cinema, as well as just some delightfully funny and brilliantly choreographed action sequences. And it takes a crew that can do that well, and let's just say the Coens know how to shoot action and make it funny, and they've done it since the beginning of their career back with Blood Simple. In fact, they really know editing because, as I've said before on the show, they edited one of the most famous sequences from The Evil Dead. And let's just say their ability to create a brilliant sequence has, I think, rarely been matched. And it's sad that I've talked so much about this already, but I only have a little bit more time to go, and that is, I have to tell you about the fantastic performances at the heart of this film. Nicolas Cage is not everybody's cup of tea, but here, I think his manic energy is precisely calibrated for this film. The way that his hair is continuously unkempt, and the way that he loves his wife, despite, any issues they might have, I think is truly a testament to the way that the Coens care about these characters. These are largely uneducated people, and the Coens still treat them with love and compassion. And it's nice to see that in a film that, especially in an industry that so often talks down to people like me that are from the South or from more backwoods areas. And to have two great characters that, although misguided, do have a lot of redeeming aspects in both Nicolas Cage's High and Holly Hunter's Ed, the main couple at the center of this film that kidnap a child because they want a baby and can't conceive one themselves, sets off a madcap adventure. I think it's brilliantly calibrated and just proves once again that the Coen Brothers know what they're doing, and they always have. So if you're ready for a bunch of laughs, incredible character actors that have been populated all across the Coens' work, as well as some of their best work and most experimental stuff, let me tell you, Raising Arizona is the movie for you, and we're delighted to share it with you tonight. And that just about wraps up tonight's screening notes, because we are really at the penultimate screening of our summer movie series, which is crazy to say. I really wanted to do this because I wanted to see films that you are interested in, maybe films that I hadn't seen before, or return to things that I haven't seen in a very long time with a new, fresh lens, and try and analyze it in a way that I think is both in light of you sharing something special to you with me and enjoying that kind of tete-a-tete, that relationship, as well as, maybe experiencing something for the first time, like Raising Arizona, that I had not seen from directors I really like. And I think this has been some of my favorite stuff that we've made for Movie Club yet, and it just reinforces the idea that I want to do more of this going forward. Look forward to more like guest picks, guest screenings, maybe even legit guest host rather than hostile takeovers. That'd be fun. And I think you'll see a lot more of that in season 2. I'm delighted to share this film with you tonight because it is absolutely fantastic. It's a recent one that I love, but I am delighted to share it with you. And it's clearly one of Gavin's favorites. And I'm so glad he picked it because it forced me to finally watch one of my favorite directing duos do what they do best. Make really great, fun worlds to live in. And this one is also nice and concise at 94 minutes. It's a fun little world, and the zany madcap adventures of this little family is absolutely dynamite, and I can't wait to share it with you. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed tonight's screening of Raising Arizona. I've been your host and curator around these parts, Patrick Smith, and on behalf of Movie Club, thank you for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow.